Hi, I am your Professor Mark. Welcome to this journey through public systems and governance. Today, we're diving deep into a critical component of public management: policy design, implementation, and evaluation. In this session, we'll explore how policies are crafted, the decision-making tools behind them, the bureaucracies that implement them, and the evaluative mechanisms that ensure they work. Whether you're a student of public policy or a working professional, this session will help you understand how to transform intent into impactful action. Introduction to policy design, implementation, and evaluation. We begin by setting the stage for the entire policy lifecycle. Good policy starts with a clear purpose, proceeds through execution, and ends in reflection and learning. Policy design aligns actions with societal goals. Implementation translates ideas into operational systems, and evaluation keeps us honest. Did it work, and how can we improve? Types of policy instruments. Public policies are executed through a toolbox of instruments: regulatory, market-based, informational, and voluntary. Regulatory tools enforce compliance, while market instruments like taxes or subsidies shape behavior through costs and rewards. Informational campaigns increase awareness. Voluntary agreements provide flexibility in implementation. Choosing the right mix depends on the context. Criteria for designing policy instruments. Every instrument must pass 4 tests. Is it effective, efficient, equitable, and feasible? Effectiveness checks whether it solves the problem. Efficiency ensures value for money. Equity asks if it treats citizens fairly. Feasibility checks administrative and political deliverability. Balancing these is the art of good policy design. Regulation, incentives, and nudges. These 3 tools offer varying levels of control. Regulations are rigid and enforceable. Incentives work by changing the payoff structure. Nudges subtly alter behavior through behavioral cues. The effectiveness of each tool depends on the behavior targeted, the urgency of change, and the social environment. Public response to nudges and incentives. People respond differently to nudges and incentives. Some appreciate reminders and defaults, others find them manipulative. Transparency and fairness are key. Studies show that small tweaks, like changing the order of choices, can yield large behavioral shifts. But ethical questions remain. Where's the line between persuasion and manipulation? Institutional capacity and bureaucratic role. Policy is only as strong as the institutions delivering it. Competent staff, clear roles, adequate resources, and aligned mandates make or break implementation. Weak bureaucracies falter, regardless of how well a policy is designed. Capacity building is, therefore, a foundational investment. Interagency coordination policies often span sectors: health, education, and infrastructure. Coordination among departments prevents duplication, fosters accountability, and ensures coherence. Communication protocols and shared performance goals are essential, but most importantly, a culture of collaboration must be cultivated. Understanding the principal-agent problem. In public policy, principals, like citizens or politicians, delegate tasks to agents, bureaucrats or contractors. This creates risks. Agents may act in their own interest, especially when monitoring is weak. This problem is magnified when information is unevenly distributed. Mitigating the principal-agent problem. We solve this issue with smart contracts, performance metrics, monitoring, and incentives. Transparent scorecards, rewards for good behavior, and penalties for failure realign agent goals with public interest. Creating a reputation system also deters bad behavior and encourages accountability. Operational challenges in implementation. Implementation often stumbles due to funding gaps, staff resistance, and red tape. Field-level realities like geographic barriers or outdated workflows slow progress. Even the best plans can derail when they hit administrative inertia or community opposition. Political and social constraints policies are not implemented in a vacuum. Politicians may prioritize short-term wins. Lobby groups and media can skew attention. Cultural resistance can delay adoption. Recognizing these forces helps policymakers anticipate friction and design better outreach. Monitoring frameworks. Monitoring translates policy progress into numbers. Inputs measure resources. Outputs capture immediate results. Outcomes show behavioral or systemic change. Logic models help connect these dots, ensuring that what we track is aligned with what we want to achieve. Technology-enabled monitoring. Modern tools like GIS maps, real-time dashboards, and mobile surveys have transformed monitoring. These provide instant data from the field, flagging issues before they escalate. They also make administration more transparent and citizen-friendly. The future of governance is real-time and data-driven. Understanding process evaluation. Process evaluations help us see how something was implemented. Did staff follow protocols? Were the right stakeholders involved? It uncovers bottlenecks and builds feedback into the system. Think of it as an operational health check, not just an audit. Measuring impact. Impact evaluations go further. They ask, did it work? Using randomized trials or quasi-experiments, we isolate policy effects. These are essential for scaling up or replicating programs. Without knowing cause-effect, we risk investing in noise. Designing policy pilots. Pilots test policies in miniature. We randomize or test them in real settings before a full launch. The idea is to learn cheaply, fail early, and adapt. Pilots should be designed with scale in mind. What works in one district must work in 10. Learning from policy pilots' failure is feedback. When pilots go wrong, they tell us what assumptions didn't hold. When they succeed, they show why and how. Capturing both lessons and codifying them within institutions transforms pilots into learning platforms. Feedback loops and iteration. Policies should evolve. Listening to citizens, analyzing real-time data, and tweaking strategy makes systems resilient. Institutional teams or labs can manage these loops. Feedback is not noise, it's insight. Iteration is not weakness, it's smart governance. Institutionalizing change. To make reform permanent, it must be written into law, documented, and championed by insiders. Institutions must remember what they did and why. Cultural change is harder than legal change, but just as important. Policy must be part of an organization's identity. Sustaining political will and reform culture. Political leadership anchors reform. Champions drive momentum through elections and crises. Coalitions with media, NGOs, and citizens keep pressure alive. Messaging must humanize policy, and public involvement must be ongoing, not just a checkbox. Conclusion: towards smarter public policy. In closing, policy design, implementation, and evaluation form a learning cycle. The best policies evolve, respond, and persist. Evidence is the compass, institutions are the engine, and citizens are the core. Let us aim not just for policy success, but for public trust, accountability, and long-term transformation.